the eclipse that bent certainty. Sobral, Brazil. Príncipe Island, West Africa. 29th of May, 1919. This is a story about light and a theory that made a promise. Filed, Berlin, 1915. Einstein publishes the field equations. The claim is not poetic. It is technical and dangerous. Gravity is not a force acting at a distance. It's curvature in space-time. If that's true, then light passing near the sun will not travel straight. It will be deflected. And the predicted deflection splits the world into two numbers, close enough to argue about, far enough to settle. Newton claimed about 0.87 arcseconds. Einstein disagreed, about 1.75 arcseconds. Twice the deviation, twice the humiliation if he's wrong. And there is only one stage where you can even attempt the measurement. A total solar eclipse, when the sun is blocked and star images near its edge can be photographed. The next viable one is dated May 29th, 1919. Countdown begins. T-minus 6 months, November 1918. The war in Europe ends, but the infrastructure of trust does not magically reassemble. Germany is isolated. Britain is victorious, exhausted, and still measuring the world in inherited authority. A German theory is sitting on the desk. It requires British instruments and a cooperative sky. Arthur Eddington, a British astronomer and Quaker pacifist, reads Einstein's work and takes it seriously enough to risk his reputation on it. Physics becomes a wager about how belief should work after a catastrophe. T-minus 3 months, March 8th, 1919. 2 expeditions leave Liverpool together on the same ship. At Madeira they split. One team continues toward Brazil. Eddington's team transfers toward Príncipe. They are not traveling toward an experiment. They are moving toward a moment that cannot be extended. If clouds win, the question waits years. If instruments drift, the plates become expensive souvenirs. T-minus 24 hours, May 28th, 1919. Heat turns metal honest. Instruments expand. Focus drifts. The air itself becomes part of the measurement. Humidity clings. Clouds behave like threats that may keep their promise. Eddington has time for only a few exposures, and each one is a negotiation with weather. Nobody is praying for a clear sky. They are waiting to see if the sky will allow measurement at all. Across parts of South America, an eclipse has never needed European physics to be real. In Guarani, traditions documented in popular and ethnographic summaries, an eclipse is often framed as predation. Something bites the sun. Something tries to eat light. The response is communal and practical. Noise is made. The group acts together, not to explain the event, but to endure it and restore balance. For the expedition, the predator is a number, so the structure is the same, a temporary collapse of certainty, and a community trying to hold steady long enough to survive it. T-0, totality. At maximum eclipse, the darkness can last under 7 minutes. At Sobral, it lasts a little over 5. The corona burns white, and stars appear close to the dark disk. 6 minutes is not enough time for drama, only enough time for exposure. Plates are exposed. Time returns. The sun comes back, as if nothing happened. In parts of West Africa, eclipse traditions are not always framed as predation, but as conflict. according to sources that summarize Batamaliba beliefs from northern Togo and Benin. An eclipse is caused by fighting between the sun and the moon. The human response is reconciliation. People gather, settle disputes, and try to end their own conflicts as a way of encouraging the sky to do the same. For the astronomers, this is not ethics, it is geometry. But again, the structure repeats. A cosmic event becomes a demand for order, and cultures answer it with their own instruments. One uses reconciliation, one uses glass. T+ weeks. The plates are developed. Sobral's data comes out cleaner. Príncipe is scarred by cloud, but not erased. The point is not perfection. The point is discrimination. Are the star images shifted in the Einstein direction and by the Einstein amount? The conclusion is written in the language of institutions, cautious, formal, but decisive. Results point to the Einstein value rather than the Newtonian one. The sky does not suggest. It contains. In November 1919, at a joint meeting of the Royal Society and the Royal Astronomical Society, the results are announced. Headline language arrives because humans cannot resist theatre, but the real shift is quieter and more brutal. Authority moves from inheritance to measurement, not because the sky changed, but because the rules for belief changed. The eclipse did not belong to Europe. It darkened Brazil. It shadowed West Africa. Yet the announcement reshaped the intellectual map anyway, because empires have always been better at distributing conclusions than experiencing events. Epilogue. The eclipse lasted minutes. The shift lasted a century. In Sobral, the sun returned as it always had. On Príncipe, the island resumed its noise. But in textbooks, gravity was rewritten into geometry. Light bent, and with it, certainty.